Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jocelyn Jam. Now that I have sort of gotten used to filming what I call the living consciously episodes of my channel, I have decided to add another segment onto it, which is books and TV. Now if you know me at all, you know that I absolutely love watching television and reading books. These two things, they keep me sane. So I have decided that I will start a segment where I talk about books and TV. I review books and I review television shows, and most of the television shows will be Asian dramas or Asian movies because I watch a lot of Asian movies, Chinese, Korean, South Korean, Taiwanese, Thai shows, Japanese shows, some Vietnamese shows, and so yes, that is it. But on today's episode, what I will be doing is showing you my books that I have on the shelf to be read. As you can see behind there, I'm not going to really show you well, but my bookshelf is somewhere back there, and it looks something like that, and that's where we're going to end it. Yes, I tend to really love books, and I read a lot of books, and I thought, because I read a lot of books, why not share? And so today what I'm really going to do is just show you the books that I have that I am planning to read between now and the end of next month. October? Yes, October. Here are my books that I will be reading. So the very first one is one that I have actually already started. It's this one. It's called Black Leopard, Red Wolf. Is it upside down? Whatever the case, Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. Okay, first of all, y'all, take a look at this. Take a look at this artwork. This is some killer artwork, y'all. Okay, he's a Jamaican writer. He was born in Jamaica. I don't know if it's Jamaican American right now, but he was born in Jamaica. And this book has been lauded as the African Black Game of Thrones. So we will see what happens. So far, I am about 50 pages in, and so far it is good. It's not mind-blowing good just yet, but I'm not gonna knock it until I'm done reading it, because really that is the same thing to do. But so far his prose is just poetry. I can tell you the way he writes, the way he describes his usage of language is just wow, magnificent. And so I can tell the story, I can sort of see where the story is right now, and I cannot tell where the story is going to go. But like I said, I'm only 50 pages in, so I will do a review of this book once I am done reading it, and I really have high hopes for it, and people have left really good reviews. So I hope that this book is good. Black Leopard, Red Wolf. My next book is called My Sister the Serial Killer by a Nigerian writer. Her name is Oyinkan Braithwaite. She is based in Nigeria, and I am looking forward to reading this book. Here's a copy, My Sister the Serial Killer, and it tells the story of two sisters. One who is possibly sociopathic and whose boyfriends mysteriously die. And it's possible that this girl's killing her boyfriends, and his sister, helps her navigate that world of murder that she finds herself in, or she puts herself in. And the sister, the non-serial killer sister, has a crush on this man who's a doctor with whom she works at a hospital, but it seems to be that the man has a crush on her sister, or likes her sister, and so that a whole saga ensues. So I will read this book and let you know how it goes. So that is the second book on my shelf. You can tell that they're all Black authors, but I promise you that's not just it. But I'm really trying to read more Black authors. I'm turning off my phone here. So the next book is called A Blade So Black by L.L. McKinney. That's what it looks like. You can see the sister on the book. A Blade So Black. It is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, the fairy tale. It is a retelling, but it's set in modern day Atlanta. I always worry about retellings because sometimes they can go terribly awry, but I'm really hoping that this turns out well. And it is a fantasy book, so of course you know it's fantasy. There will be far-fetched things happening, but I am pretty stoked to be reading this. I haven't really read a lot of fantasy books by Black authors featuring Black people, but I really love the idea. Alice, she's a Black woman, she's strong, and I'm sure she's gonna kill it, whatever she's killing. But yeah, I'm excited for it. A Blade So Black. All right, my next book is one that I have been wanting to read for such a long time, but I kept pushing it off. It's Behold the Dreamers by Mbolo Mbwe. She's a Cameroonian, like me, so you gotta support the sister. Behold the Dreamers. I think Oprah Winfrey had it for her book club at some point. I hope I'm not making things up here, but I think that's the case. I really also love the covers. Like you can tell, I love book covers that are pretty and say something. And I love this because so it tells the tale. All right, of course it says here. Look at that, it's funny. Oprah Winfrey's Book Club 2017 selection. Anyways, it tells the tale or the story of a Cameroonian immigrant who lives in Harlem with his wife. He comes in on an asylum visa, and he gets a job as a chauffeur, and his wife gets a job as a temporary worker in like his employer's summer home in the Hamptons, and you know they find themselves in this really posh world, and I guess things happen. That's the best I can say it, but I'm pretty excited for this book. I have heard really great reviews as well. I read the first 2 chapters on my phone as a Kindle when I ordered this book. I had the option of getting excerpts of it, so I had the first 2 chapters on my phone as a Kindle, and I read them, and I swear it felt like I could relate so much, and not just because they were a Black person or an immigrant in the United States of America like I am, but they were also Cameroonian, which I am, and the first 2 chapters were just so familiar. It felt like home, and I am really looking forward to reading this book, y'all. Behold the Dreamers by Mbolo Mbwe. My next book is titled Solo by Kwame Alexander with Mary Rand Hess. It's another book by a Black author, Solo. I think it tells the story of this boy whose father is a washed-up rock star, and his family basically is a family that people, think of as full of tragedy and failure and that sort of thing, and he doesn't want to associate with his father, and so he makes his way to Ghana, I think, to sort of figure out who he is, and of course there's a love story as well. But what I really love most about this book is that it's written in poetry form. Let's see. It's like each chapter is like a new poem. And I swear, y'all, I love this because, okay, I write poetry, right? So I have been trying to write a novel in poetry form, and I thought it would be easy. It's harder. It's much harder than it looks. And so I really, I'm looking forward to reading this book and to see what he did with it. And I commend this writer for this. It's crazy. I am excited to actually read this book because of that. And so I hope it lives up to my expectations because, well, that's that. Solo by Kwame Alexander. My next book is titled There by Tommy Orange. This is what it looks like. He's another writer of color. He's Native American. And this novel tells the story of 12 characters from a native community going on somewhere, and I guess it's a story about, you know, the plight of the urban Native American, and I am really looking forward to reading this as well. It's a smaller book, so it should take me less amount of time, but I'm excited, y'all. My TBR is crazy. I really love it. It's his debut novel, and of course Margaret Atwood via Twitter calls it an astonishing literary debut. But yes, I'm excited to see what this is. The next one is a book of poetry by Jericho Brown titled The Tradition. Yeah, I love books that have black girls on them. Like, there's nothing better. Like, look at that. Look at that. The Tradition. I also started reading some of the poems. I read like the first 3 or 4 poems, and I had to go back and read them a second time because it just was like, wow. Wow. Yeah. Anyways, I will go through this book, and if you love poetry, so far what I've read is really good. If you love poetry, you can go get yourself a copy. Jericho Brown, The Tradition. But I'm looking forward to really reading it all the way to the end. And I know it'll be good because it has to be. Okay, yes. And my last 2 books are these by J.D. Robb, Connections in Death and Leverage in Death. They are part of a series by J.D. Robb. J.D. Robb is a pseudonym for Nora Roberts, and I absolutely love her. And I know people sometimes underlook books that are not considered literary, but I can sincerely tell you that I love Nora Roberts as an author, as a writer. Her books are really good. She was my first introduction to real novels, like real books for adults. I was 10 years old when I read her first book. Yeah, I know, young, but I really got hooked. And her books, she just is a wonderful writer. Like Nora Roberts, Daniel Steele, James Patterson, John Grisham, as many romance authors as you can think of. I can't think of all of their names right now, but I love their novels, and I'm never gonna, diss them, because these books were my friends when I didn't have friends. They were, and then when I got comfortable being, just at home and enjoying myself, I loved reading books, and these books helped me with my English. They helped me be more empathetic. They helped me figure out the world, truthfully. And sometimes people think, really, what can you learn from a romance novel? I assure you, you can learn so much. You can learn a lot. Yeah. So these are my books for the upcoming month, and I hope to finish them. And once I am done, I will do reviews on these books and let you know what my thoughts are. Right now, I'm pretty excited for them, but you never know what happens. So there you go. Thank you so much for being here for this new segment of my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed my TBRs to be read for the month of October. I'm pretty excited for them. I'm pretty looking forward to what's going to happen, and I hope you are too. Thank you for being here on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share your favorite novels or your TBRs for the month of October. Whatever you're planning on reading, whatever you're reading right now, recommend some books to me. I always love hearing about new books, and yeah, see you next time. Ta-ta!